if you ask Biden, sir, are you for or against crypto? What's that? What the? Get me off the stage. He said, get me off the stage. No, he has no idea. But look, the Gensler is very much against it. The Democrats are very much against it. And I say this, a lot of people are very much for it, probably a lot of the people in this group. And I'm fine with it. I want to make sure it's good and solid and everything else, but I'm good with it. And if you like crypto in any form, and it comes in a lot of different forms, if you're in favor of crypto, you better vote for Trump. Thank you for the statement. Yeah, with the goggles on.
A lot of the smartest people in crypto are moving their businesses out of the U.S. because they're scared of the U.S.'s regulations.
Because of the hostility.
Correct.
Yeah, crypto is moving out of the U.S. because of hostility toward crypto.
Correct. So what are you going to do to stop it?
Well, we'll stop it because I don't want that. I don't want that. I want that. If we're going to embrace it, we have to let them be here.
Yes, sir. Morgan. So it's official. Trump is supporting crypto. While I don't get too much into politics because I believe that if you're going to change your whole financial situation, you have to be the one to change it. But I do believe that if they're pro-crypto and he's pro-crypto, then what's that going to mean for crypto? Because back in 2020, if we go back to the chart that I'm going to show you guys in this video and compare back to the last bull run, what happened when the CARES Act was signed into law, that caused a massive pump in the crypto market. Well, at the same time, too, that did cause massive inflation in the US dollar. So you can't have one without the other. You know, as inflation goes up, crypto goes up. And so the dollar goes down as crypto goes up and precious metals go up and real estate and all that stuff. So people that are savers, that's why Robert Kiyosaki says savers are losers. So in this video, I have some powerful information to share with you guys about the future of crypto in the United States and also what's happening on the charts right now for where we are in this macro market cycle, and then some altcoin projects as well too that are gearing up to make some massive moves for the rest of this bull run. So if you're feeling bullish, comment 777. If you're feeling blessed, comment 777. If you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping that subscribe button. The sun is getting ridiculously bright as it sets here, just like your future. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So the past 24 hours, nothing too crazy has happened in the crypto market. We're just kind of hanging out here, and I'm going to get into the chart with you guys and talk about Bitcoin, talk about total market cap, and then talk about some other altcoins because a lot of people are wondering what's about to take place over the next few months. You know, are we going down? Is the local top in? Or are we going to the beaches of the moon? So this just in, the CEO of Hong Kong Bitcoin ETF issuer Harvest wants to put the ETF on Stock Connect so mainland Chinese investors can buy it. And so for your information, Stock Connect gives mainland Chinese investors direct access to Hong Kong listed securities like the Bitcoin ETFs. And Harvest CEO said local Bitcoin ETFs could grow to double the size of the US products, you know, as there's lots of big investors in China. So they roll this out to institutional grade investors first, and then it trickles down to the retail investors later when Bitcoin is upwards of $100,000. So it's really just a ticking time, I don't want to call it a bomb, ticking time nuke that's set to go off to set Bitcoin higher. And breaking news just hit with legislation that would overturn the SEC's rule preventing highly regulated financial firms from custodying Bitcoin in crypto passing the House. So the question is, will it pass the Senate? Because the SEC is losing their grip. And a big thing that retail investors in the United States are starting to understand is that the United States is not the only country out there. There's other countries that are pro-crypto. The United States is one of the most anti-crypto countries right now that hasn't come up with clear regulatory rules. So I'm not going to get too much into regulation because it's coming. It's going to happen. It's a matter of time. We need to look at the charts and the facts of where we're at because Bitcoin being in a downtrend since the 13th of March, we see this descending resistance. You know, it tried to break out on the 9th of April, ultimately was rejected from the all-time high and continued to the downtrend. So there was a lot of long traders that were liquidated down here at the 56,000 level. And so if we look at the MACD, one thing that we can notice right here is there was a bullish cross below the zero line where the MACD line crossed above the signal line. On the contrary, if we look back up here on like the 15th of March, we can see a bearish cross. And simply put, for those of you that are brand new to, you know, understanding what the MACD is or the RSI or looking at charts in general, when we see a bearish cross with this blue line crossing below this orange line, which is the signal line, that just simply means that momentum has shifted from bullish momentum over to bearish momentum, and the likelihood of seeing a downtrend is very high the higher the cross takes place above the horizontal zero line. And so this happened all the way up here at like 5,000, and this was the highest Bitcoin's been. So we were due for a correction. Now, so far, the correction that has taken place has been 23%. So there is the potential for us to go lower. However, we've seen a bullish cross take place down below the zero line. It doesn't mean that we're going to go up right now because, as you guys can see, back here, if we look back from what happened from 25th of June 2023 until we broke out, roughly in October of 2023, we were in this downtrend. And the same thing on the MACD that we could see happen was there was a bearish cross right here on the 6th of July of 2023, where the MACD line crossed below the signal line. The momentum shifted from the bulls over to the bears. The MACD line was below the signal line until right about here in August of 2023. Once we saw a bullish cross take place, the price went from 26,000 up to like 28 and kind of hovered around here. So it didn't do anything after the bullish cross took place until what, like 50 days later. So over a month, almost a month and a half before it broke out. Simultaneously as well too, if we zoom out, we look at the RSI, the relative strength index, we could see the RSI was having this divergence where we could see lower highs on the relative strength index while we were seeing higher highs on the price chart. And then this high was just barely above the high of April of 2023. And so that's when the momentum, shifted over to the bears to have one final flush out before we rocketed up from here. And so if we look at the RSI for where we are right now, it's been in a downtrend and is currently at 47, but it just recently broke this descending resistance. And as you guys can see all the way back here, from the end of June until roughly the 13th of September, the RSI was in a downtrend alongside with the price until about the 13th of September. Once the RSI broke this descending resistance and then back tested it as support, the price still didn't really do too much, hanging out between $25,000 and $28,000 until the RSI was above 70, breaching 70 to 86. Then the price started to break out. Now, once the price started to break upwards of 35, 40, 45, even topping out at $48,000, the RSI topped out on the 25th of October on that first breakout. So this was another divergence where we could see lower highs happening on the RSI while we were seeing higher highs happen on the price chart. So what does this mean for where we're at right now? Well, this is more similar to the downtrend that happened from June until October, where the price chart shows a downtrend. We can see lower highs being formed, getting rejected from the descending resistance. On the RSI, we can also see lower highs being formed until we flipped it. But once we flipped this descending resistance and held it as support, the price continuously trended sideways until this first major breakout. And so if we were to see something like this happen, well, the RSI just broke this descending resistance right here on like the 3rd of May, whereas the price is still below this descending resistance. So we could see the price just trade sideways over the next, 30 to 60 days, 1 to 2 months, while the RSI does something like this and builds up momentum over the next 30 to 60 days, then what I would expect is the first major breakout for Bitcoin past the all-time high, maybe by like July, August, or September of this year, then I'd be expecting the RSI to be somewhere around 70 on the daily candles. Now, the golden question is, how will that affect altcoins? Well, let's look back at the last bull run and let's see if we can spot some similarities here on some key indicators for confluence. Now, in trading, according to ChatGPT, confluence refers to the combination of multiple trading indicators or strategies that together confirm the potential for a particular trading setup or signal. So this explains it way better than I ever could, but basically looking for congruence, looking for similarities between indicators now and in the past. And so if we look at where we are right now in May and we put it up to the past, I'll move my camera out the way so you guys can screenshot this if you want to share something like this, if this makes sense for you. So I've simplified this down for you guys to 4 numbers here. Okay. Number 1, what we're looking at right now is where we are in terms of this correction and this pullback. We are back testing the support for where we were back in January of 2022 during this complacency stage bounce. So it's what's called a dead cat bounce. You throw a cat off a building, it bounces, and then the second bounce is not going to be as high as the next bounce. And so that's essentially what happened by here of April 2022. We were forming a lower high on the price chart. We were in a downtrend and the bear market was in. Go back to the previous bull run. Do we see some similarities here? Yes, we can see this dead cat bounce where the second high was not as high as the previous high. So we're in a downtrend and there's a support right here. So point number 1 is the support that we're looking at. So in terms of price action, you see support and resistances, and a support is an area where there's strong buying demand. A resistance is where there's strong selling demand, right? So a back test of the support, it wicked off of it. So this is where strong buy demand is for the entire crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin. So this is all altcoins. So roughly around $900 billion to like 970 billion. It's not 100% exact. We don't need to be 100% exact. We need to look at the macro big picture here if you're feeling any fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So point number one, we're seeing a back test of the support. Now let's go back to the past. Did we see the same thing happen? Yes. So from here in August of 2020, we saw a back test of this support, and it took roughly 90 days, so about 3 months, to break the high that was around $162 billion by August. So it took until November. And during this time frame, people were still skeptical. They were still in disbelief. And then once we broke that range right here, people started to get into hope by December. And then January, February, March, people were in full-blown belief, thrill, and then euphoria towards the top of the market. And so that's point number one. We're seeing a healthy back test. Now, if we don't hold this zone as support and we break further to the downside, then we're going to readjust our strategy here, because this would be a much longer accumulation period and a much deeper correction. But as long as we hold this support, we're still looking healthy. Now, point number two that we can see is a golden cross taking place where the 50 SMA in blue is crossing above the 200 SMA in red. Now, simply put, according to ChatGPT, that explains things way better than me, a golden cross in trading is a technical chart pattern that signals a potential bullish breakout. It occurs when a short-term moving average, in this case the 50 SMA, crosses above a longer-term moving average, which is the 200 SMA. Typically, the most commonly watched golden cross indicators involve 50-day and 200-day moving average. So how it works is very, very simple. When a golden cross takes place, it's generally a bullish signal. Now, if we go back to the past in September 2020, when the golden cross took place, we were seeing a back test of support, which also was resistance back here in June of 2019. The only difference here with this zone is we didn't see as impulsive of a move on 10th of April 2023, whereas we saw DeFi summer in June of 2019 up to retest this support as resistance, and it acted as support again. So in this case, we just didn't see it as resistance during the 2022 bear market and summer of 2023. But as you guys can see with this pullback right here to retest this range as support, we're also seeing a golden cross take place around the middle of March. So this is another great sign that the future is looking bullish. Now, point number three, though, on the MACD, we do see a bearish cross attempting to take place right now. It hasn't fully developed. We need to see over the next couple of weeks how this is going to develop, because going back to the past, we saw a bearish cross was trying to form back in October of 2020, but then the market started working its way on out of here. So if this support didn't hold and we saw the markets trend down from here, which we didn't see, back in 2020, then we would have seen a bearish cross and the MACD line would have rolled over the orange line, but it just bounced off of it. So we could see something similar to that. So it's not confirming anything yet on the weekly for point number three, but the confluence that we can see is this bullish cross took place all the way down here on the 25th of July of 2022. And we've seen an increase in momentum on the MACD where we've trended well above the zero line, very similar to what happened during the last bear market to bull run, where we can see momentum shifting bullish. So the odds are in favor of a continuation of the trend to the upside over the next several months. Now, point number four, the RSI was overheated upwards of 85 and overbought territory on the 4th of March. Now, going back to the past, we can see that the RSI got upwards of 80 on the 10th of August during this breakout right here. And then on the back test, it stayed above, 60. It didn't quite dip down to 50 or even 30. And so right now, we're seeing a little back test right here of point number one on the price chart. But if the RSI can stay above 50, in my opinion, it would trend back well above 70 and ultimately above 80 and then 90. Very similar to what happened from November of 2020 until May of 2021. And then that's when we saw the next pullback for the market to come closer to the 50 moving average. Then right here in January of 2022, the bull run was over. We broke below the 50 moving average. We came back up to try and back test it again right here by the 28th of March. And that was just simply a dead cat bounce as all momentum was out of the markets. The bulls were leaving and the bears were taking over. So that's where we came all the way back down to retest the 200 SMA. So we want to see a few things happen over the next few months to give us multiple clear signs that crypto is going to continue up over the next year to 2 years. So in the short term, sure, there's going to be a lot more volatility over the next 1 to 2 months, ranging between $800 billion and $1 trillion in market cap. However, as long as we hold support at about $900 billion, and the price chart stays above the 50 SMA, and the 50 SMA stays above the 200 SMA, then I believe volume is just going to continue to flow into the entire altcoin market. Now, there's really 3 sectors in crypto that are going to absorb a large chunk of the liquidity, and that's what CoinMarketCap is deeming to be hot right now. That's meme coins, gaming, artificial intelligence. Obviously, Solana is doing good, but I could see the base ecosystem climbing on here. So meme coins is number 1 for a reason, because as retail starts coming back in the market, they like meme coins, they understand meme coins. So one of the biggest meme coin projects that we look at the chart for is Floki. And so Floki just broke from this descending resistance right here, and it's back testing it as support. It was rejected from the resistance of the 23rd of April of 2024. So if it can hold this descending resistance as support, and we don't see Bitcoin further selling off to the downside, we don't see the entire altcoin market going back to back test $900 billion, then we could see volume flow into Floki, potential back test of this resistance as support, and a continuation of the upside. Now, if we do see money coming out of the markets as a whole in May, because a lot of investors like to sell in May and go away, that's just been the same, because large investors and institutions, they typically go on vacations with their family in May, and so they would rather sell in May and go away so they don't have to watch their portfolios go up and down and micromanage it on the beaches with their kids. And so then they re-enter the markets, by like August, September, October, towards the end of 2024. And so that could be the main catalyst that would cause more sideways trading action, one final liquidation event back down to retest previous zones of support. And so the zone of support that we're looking for Floki acted as support back here on the 13th of April of 2024. It was also support back here on the 5th of March of 2024. So if you guys are like swing traders or day traders, or you set limit buy orders, again, I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I'm not going to tell you what to sell. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You should go consult your financial advisor. Crypto's very risky. You could lose all of your money. And these videos are purely for education and informational purposes only. However, this is the zone that you want to watch, because this is where traders would be placing a lot of limit buy orders here. And this is where we see these large wicks, because the bulls come in, they buy up these dips every chance that they can get. And over the next few months, we could even see the price do something like this and just trade sideways and ultimately have one final liquidation event before we start working our way out of here and making these more impulsive moves towards the end of the year. Because let's say Trump does get back in office. Well, obviously he's pro crypto. And so as you guys know, with those interviews right there, if he gets back in office and then all of a sudden, what do you think is going to happen to the crypto market? It's just going to go absolutely parabolic from that news alone. But we can't base our investing strategy just solely off who's going to get in the Oval Office, because what if Biden gets reelected? Then you need to have a solid strategy that is independent of whoever's president. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com, and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos, where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets, that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it. Also, I want to make sure that you guys are plugged in with our private Telegram group. We're nearing on 12,000 members, so let's hit that 12K mark. The link will be in the description below, and that's where we post breaking news updates first and altcoins that we believe are gearing up for massive breakouts. Now, the reason why Floki is going to be a major player this bull run is because their marketing team has just been going nonstop. So if you guys follow their Twitter, they were just named the title sponsor of Ireland's men's series against Pakistan. As you guys already know, they have a massive billboard on Times Square that everyone is seeing nonstop every single day. But the reason why this news is so big is because if we look at what T20I is, well, you guys can check out the most popular sports in the world. Sports and marketing in sports is how retails and normies learn about a project, because a lot of people still look at billboards. Billboards are more so for unconscious competence style programming, and direct marketing is also necessary, which they're doing to be able to convey news directly to consumer through avenues and mediums like YouTube and through Twitter, which is why we even agreed to have Floki be a sponsor of the channel. But looking right here at the top sport in the world, it's soccer. number 2 is cricket. I didn't even know this because I thought like basketball or baseball was number 2, but cricket is number 2, field hockey is number 3, tennis, then volleyball, table tennis, baseball is number 7, golf number 8, then basketball is all the way in number 9. Now that's going to be good for marketing, more PR, but for those of you that don't really care that much about sports and you care about what are the institutions doing, okay? What are the massive hedge funds doing? Well, Van Eck, a top asset manager and Bitcoin ETF provider that got approved with BlackRock with $101 billion in assets under management, has added Floki to its Market Vector meme coin index. Now, Market Vector is the first regulated index provider to launch a series of digital asset indices designed to track the performance of the otherwise fragmented global digital asset markets more accurately. So this is a big deal for Floki as it further enhances its recognition among key institutional players and legitimizes it as a key cryptocurrency to pay attention to. So don't let the cartoonish Viking hat fool you. I believe this project could do what Shiba Inu did last bull run if we see trillions of dollars flow in this bull run. Now, the other industry that we want to keep an eye out for is top AI and big data tokens. Now, a lot of people look for, top low cap projects. And if you guys watched my video yesterday, I mentioned one of those projects where Near Protocol is very, very big. It's massive, but I believe this AI crypto will make you way richer because it has around a $30 million market cap. Because if we look at Near Protocol right now, I think Near Protocol is going to continue to do well. And if you're smart, again, not going to tell you what to buy, but smart people, they hold large caps like Near Protocol in their portfolio because winners are going to continue to win. And as AI grows, which is going to be one of the most popular sectors, look at Near Protocol over the past 7 days, it's up 21%. Render's up 38%. The graph up 17%. So AI is just going to continue to do very, very well. In a while back, I made a video comparing Injective to Render and showed you guys what was going to happen next for Render. And I was spot on with that. Render had a massive breakout. Now watch Near Protocol. Look at this chart right here. If we compare back to the 29th of April of 2021 until the 17th of April of 2023 for Injective, we saw a sell-off from $25 all the way down here to about $1 by June of 2022. Very similar to how we saw a sell-off for Near Protocol, upwards of $20 all the way down to $1.20 by December of 2022. We were in a bear market. Now we see these key zones of resistance that we had to work back through and retest as support. So when Near Protocol broke out in December of 2023 to like $4, almost $5, it back tested this zone as support. Very similar to what happened right here in January of 2023 when Injective broke out. The dates are just different, but the chart is somewhat similar because we see a back test right here by March of 2023. Then we worked our way through this zone of consolidation, then we break out to form a new range, back test the previous zone, which was support all the way back here in July of 2021, June and July of 2021, and it hovered, Injective hovered around this price, between February and April of 2022. So this was another big zone to backtest as support. And as you guys can see, Injective traded sideways from April of 2023 for like 192 days until October of 2023, then broke out from $10 all the way upwards of $50. And so this, in my opinion, which I could be wrong here, but I believe this will happen for Near Protocol because right now Near Protocol is in a similar range comparable to what happened for Injective between April and October of 2023. So when we talk about confluence here with the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin, then also Bitcoin's price chart, if Bitcoin trades sideways and does stuff like this, I would expect Near Protocol to do something like this before the next major breakout to the upside, similar to what happened back here. Because while Near Protocol might not be the most AI-driven project, it's the number one in the AI category, and we're still 175-ish%, almost, like a 2 or 3x away from the all-time high. So sure, I don't think this project is going to do like 100x or 500x or a 1000x, probably not even a 50x or even like a 20 or 30x, but I believe Near Protocol will be one of the front runners alongside these other top projects that would just be like the stable mule of your portfolio. Now, if you guys do want a little more risk, if we look at lower market cap projects or small market cap sub $100 million, because mid caps are between 100 million to $1 billion, but small caps are between 100 million and like 0, but micro caps are like 0 to 10. So if we're looking at 3 Protocol, which I made a video about yesterday that I want you guys to check out after this one, well, 3 Protocol sitting at like $28 million market cap. Now, if we were to compare this to Floki's reward token, TokenFi, at about a $50 million market cap, we can see that for about 120 days, by November 2023, TokenFi went upwards of 5 cents, and then it just ranged sideways until March. So for about 120 days. So what is that? I'm not that quick at math, but 30, 60, 90, 120. So that's 4 months. The price didn't really do too much. And then it broke out upwards of 25, almost 25 cents. And now it's consolidating right now. And so if we look at where 3 protocol is from the 4th of May to where the recent high is, if we were to measure something like 120 days, not to say that it's going to be 120 days for this thing to break out. However, that's September of 2024. And with the market cap of these projects at only $28 million for 3 protocol and TokenFi sitting at only $50 million, these are 2 small cap projects that I believe are going to do very, very well this bull run and have a high potential of even outperforming the mid cap and the large caps in your portfolio. Now, for those of you guys that like less risk and you just believe in Bitcoin here, I mean, if you do, then let me know in the comments below. If you want more altcoins, then give this video a like and subscribe to our daily video newsletter on bullrunners.com. Join the Telegram. But one of the most safe strategies in crypto, even though it's not safe, but it's Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin 500 days before the halving, hold and do nothing, and then sell 500 days after the halving and repeat. Because if we look back to history, 2015, if you would have bought down here 500 days before the halving, you would have bought the bottom. Then if you would have waited 500 days after the halving, you would have sold near the top. Then right here in 2019, 500 days before the halving was almost the exact bottom. 500 days after the halving was nearly the exact top at the complacency stage bounce. 500 days before the most recent halving was almost at the exact bottom. Well, when is 500 days after the halving? That is around August 31st of 2025. And as you guys know, altcoins follow Bitcoin. So maybe the top of the altcoin market is by like September, October, or November of 2025, which plays a line with Bitcoin's 4-year market cycle theory. But the 4-year market cycle theory is still just that. It's a theory because crypto ultimately follows the M2 money supply chart because as you can see in the past, when the M2 money supply was increasing, so was crypto. When it was decreasing, we were in a bear market. And so now it just flipped positive. And also the Treasury is going to be issuing buybacks towards the end of this month. So the catalysts for a massive bull run are all there. And if you're not prepared by backing up your truck all the way to the bank and grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them and leaving no bags left behind, then you're going to get wiped out because the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. That's a fact. Based on inflation, blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies are going up in value. That's the truth. And together, you know where we're going. We're going camping on the beaches of the moon. So I will see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish. So if you're ready to become the first millionaire in your family tree with crypto, and you want to get early access to our underground guidebook to become a crypto millionaire when it's released, then all you need to do right now is go to bullrunners.com and you're going to get exclusive early access to alerts on explosive altcoins with timely notifications about high potential projects before they hit the mainstream market. You're also going to get access to daily market analysis videos where you can watch daily videos like this to stay up to date on the latest trends and updates in the cryptocurrency market. And you're also going to receive pro trading strategies and tools for you to access proven trading tips and institutional grade indicators to refine your trading strategy. So don't miss out on the launch of our new underground guidebook called Altcoin Secrets that's going to help you discover the next 100x altcoin. All you need to do to get early access is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed for the early bird list when it's released. We know you're going to love it.